the New Orleans Saints, who just did that bizarre swap. Did we talk about was it y'all?
Oh, we talked about it, yes.
Yeah, it was y'all, right? We talked about it for 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
You guys are doing too many podcasts. You need to ask for a pay raise. Narrator, you did. No pay raises were given. The Saints are picking twice in the first round, 16 and 19. Josh, when you look at this team, what are their primary needs? Where could they go in this first round with these two first picks? And will they be sniping the Chargers with a left tackle pick at 16?
So Jason Lockenfor wrote an article about what New Orleans was trying to accomplish with this pick, and it's ultimately the same theory that I've kind of come to at this point, which is the Saints are looking around the NFC saying, we can contend this year. We can make it to the playoffs. How far you're going to make it in the playoffs is an entirely different conversation. I wouldn't mortgage my future for, a first round out. But if they think they've got a chance to contend, then by all means, push your chips in. But I look at this roster, you need a lot. You need an offensive tackle. You need wide receiver help. You need safety. You need, depending on how you feel about Paulson Adebo from a year ago, maybe you need a cornerback. So there's some needs on this team. If you're in the first round, maybe they look for one of those left tackles, whether that's Mississippi State's Charles Cross, maybe it's Trevor Penning from Northern Iowa. Or maybe you go wide receiver where we have discussed the options at length. There's Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Treylon Burks, Jameson Williams. They're going to be in a prime position to get one of those players at least in the first round. So if you can walk away with your franchise left tackle and a wide receiver from this draft class, then I can look at this roster and say, they have done an adequate job to essentially fill every position on their roster with a competent football player. Now it's up to Jameis Winston to stay healthy and, give them some consistency. If he's able to do that, then it's a team that, certainly has a strong chance to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, what I've said this whole offseason with the Saints is I feel they're closer to a club that should be rebuilding as opposed to a team that can push to the NFC playoffs. But then a flurry of transactions happened. A lot of star power left the NFC to the AFC. And I feel like at this point, Mickey Loomis, and is Jeff Ireland still there? I think he is.
Yes. I would suggest that at this point with Sean Payton gone, that Jeff Ireland is essentially the de facto general manager who is making the draft selections. Which
is weird because back in the day with the Dolphins, he was like one of the worst GMs in the league, and he's actually been pretty decent. He showed
up in 2017, and the combo of him and Sean Payton helped flip this franchise around with that 2017 draft.
That's like one of the best draft classes in the last 30 years, if not ever, when you look at all the value they got. That I feel like they're looking at Demario Davis, who's 33, Cam Jordan turning 33 this summer. Marshawn Latimore's not older, but he's a veteran cornerback now. They just lost Malcolm Jenkins to retirement. That they're kind of like, hey, if there's one more last gasp effort, even without Drew Brees, to make the playoffs, maybe we get a couple bounces our way, we could win a game or two in the playoffs. It's this year, because after this season, to probably be either losing Cam Jordan or Demario Davis or both of them, or just not seeing them play at a high level, that's why they traded up and are probably going to address those needs that Josh outlined really well. I think left tackle, wide receiver make the most sense. And I think Jameis Winston stays healthy. I mean, that was a pretty good team. They were 5-1 or 5-2 before Jameis Winston got injured last season. So yeah, they could go, 10-7 or 9-8 and make the NFC playoffs this season.
Yeah. I mean,
the defense is still okay. It's still pretty good.
Yeah, no, the defense still should be good. I mean, they definitely lost some pieces. It's just I sort of feel like everyone's treating the Saints as if Sean Payton didn't leave.
Yeah,
true.
And it's like Sean Payton did leave, and so maybe Pete Carmichael is fine calling the plays, and maybe Dennis Allen is a great head coach, and it was just a Raiders thing. I think that's possible. Just like I think Todd Bowles could be a really good head coach in his second tenure with the Bucs. I don't think that drop off is huge there, but the difference between Bruce Arians to Todd Bowles, to me, Sean Payton was the Saints. Sean Payton was the Saints. He called all their plays. He designed everything. I just feel like that's being slept on a little bit.
Yeah, and Joe Lombardi left the year before that. I mean, there wasn't even a natural transition to the next man up on offense because it had been kind of blown up the year earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.